On behalf of the City of Cupertino, I would like to welcome you to the second annual Civic Service Awards. As you were arriving this evening, you were listening to a group that we are very proud of. Just recently, we went into a co-sponsored relationship with the Cupertino Junior Chamber Orchestra under the direction of Timothy Beswick. Before we begin our awards program, I would ask that you join me in listening to them play Cannon by Pachelbel. We are here tonight to do something absolutely delightful. We are here to say thank you. The Civic Service Awards program was born just about a year ago, and it was born out of City Council's desire to recognize individuals and organizations in the community that have improved the quality of life in Cupertino. Tonight, those individuals and organizations that we are honoring were nominated by their peers, other individuals and organizations within our community. Those folks felt that the people that we're honoring had made a contribution that is worth our coming together and saying thank you. Incidentally, I looked over the list, and it appears that this is the one and only award that entertainer Michael Jackson will not be receiving in 1984. But I can assure you the other recipients are well-deserved. This program has meant a great deal to City Council, and at this time I would like to introduce to you your City Council. Let me begin with Mayor Pro Tem Phil Johnson, if you will stand, please. Councilmember John Gatto. Councilmember Barbara Rodgers. And Councilmember Reed Sparks. Before I present your mayor to you, as you are coming in, you may have noticed the television cameras. I would like to be able to tell you that this is being broadcast live by NBC and CBS and ABC, but that would be stretching the truth somewhat. Actually, this is a videotape that's being prepared. It's a joint effort in cooperation with United Cable Television Company, the De Anza College TV Center, and the City of Cupertino, and this program in its entirety will be aired next week. At the end of the program, I will give you those times and dates so that you, if you are a member and are hooked up to our United Cable channels, you will be able to see this program again. With that, I would like to introduce to you the Master of Ceremonies for this evening's program, Mayor John Plungy.
Kumbawa. I should say that having just returned earlier this week with several of the council members from Japan. Thank you very much, Steve. I wish to add my welcome to all of you coming here tonight, as Steve said, to honor people who helped to make this city great. During the past 10 days, 3 of us from the council and others from the community went halfway around the world to visit our sister city of Toyokawa, Japan. And we were truly astounded by the hospitality, the warmth, and the friendship that was exhibited there and shown to us. But also, I think we can stand proud because as I come back to this community, we see the same warmth, friendliness, hospitality, and particularly the same as we saw in Japan, a dedication of people serving other people, of people serving their community. And this is what the Civic Service Awards are all about. As Steve said, the awards were started last year to give honor, homage, and thanks to the many people who serve our community. You know, day by day we go on, we kind of take things for granted sometimes. And I know sometimes at the council level and with city staff, we just kind of assume things are going to happen. But I think, as we all know, that doesn't happen that way. It depends upon the hard work of people. And sure, some of us here on the council sometimes get the recognition. We also get the letters and phone calls and things like that, too. But much of what we do, or for which we get recognition, is really the work of the citizens of the community. And I think we can be very proud of our community. I'm not going to go into a State of the City address. I did that earlier this year with the Chamber of Commerce. But I think we can, for just a bit, focus on Cupertino. First of all, what I like to consider the beauty of Cupertino. the exterior beauty, and I think days like today, the breeze comes up and clears off a little of the other air. We see those hills, the greenness there, the beauty, the homes, the people there. That's all part of Cupertino. At the same time also, I think there's that interior beauty of the people, the diversity we have here. And I think it's one that has been grown and enhanced throughout the years. I've lived in this community now for 21 years. And when I came, it was one way, and I think some of us who have been around a while realize that, and there are many who have been around longer. And the community has changed. And I know sometimes people say, oh, why can't it be like it was in the old days? Well, if it was like in the old days, many of us would not be here to enjoy it. And I think those who have come to our community have enhanced it, and they continue to do so. I think there's a place for all in the community, and I think as a council we have tried to maintain that. We've tried to make some progress during the year in serving you in the community and trying to keep open lines of communication and perhaps an open door. I think television that you see here tonight is part of that. We've tried to bring more information to you and hopefully provide the vehicle by which you can bring information and your comments to us. I've mentioned this before, but I am always very proud of it. I did not start it. I'm happy to be continuing in it. That little magazine that most of you receive, those who are residents, call the Cupertino Scene. I know as we go to conferences throughout California and throughout the country, there are some cities that put out little magazines and the like, but I think ours stands out there paramount, not only in what is presented to you, but there's that nice little thing called the sound-off card at the back that gives you the opportunity to respond to us. And it has become a model for other communities. And again, I repeat to you, we've put it in print sometimes, we do see what you have to say to us and about your community. When those cards come in, city staff goes over them, a verbatim copy is made of those cards, and each of us on the council receives a copy each week of whatever comes in. And if we see the same comments occurring again and again, believe me, we start talking to staff on why those comments aren't changing. So I think that type of communication we are striving for. I am proud of Cupertino because as I go around the country, again, I mention to people Cupertino, and they've heard of us. Granted, sometimes you have to say Apple Computer or one of those, and that brings it to their attention. But on the other hand, there are people, it's nice, flying over to Japan. Mr. Sparks is sitting next to me, he's reading a magazine there on the airliner, and he said, look at this. And there was an article, an ad, and they were talking about Cupertino. And so people have heard of us. We have a reputation, and it's a good reputation. And people who have traveled from other parts of the country and other parts of the world who have visited Cupertino say, you have a very nice place. The Japanese, who come from by the way, Toyokawa is a very beautiful city, a city of cherry trees. And speaking of cherry trees, as you know, we have the 200 in Memorial Park, and today I helped to dedicate 11 more trees. We're growing. The Benihana restaurants were celebrating their 20th anniversary today, and through the Cupertino Nursery, they donated more trees, which were planted around the flagpoles at City Hall. And also what was provided was a scholarship of 1-month study in Japan, transportation being provided by United Airlines for a student who happens to be from Cupertino High School. Susan Kaku was selected, and she will be going over to Japan in the summer. But at any rate, Toyokawa is a very beautiful city, yet the people who have come here have remarked about the beauty that is Cupertino. So I think it's something we can all be proud of, and tonight is indeed a night of celebration. So with those few remarks, I would like to get into the awards themselves and recognize the people who have done so much to make this a very warm, friendly, and productive community. We will be presenting these awards. There is a certificate of recognition from the City Council. There is a medallion that is presented, a Distinguished Service Award, and also our local assemblyman, Ernie Conyu from the 22nd Assembly District, has also provided a resolution of commendation. The first category is community service. Community service reflects the efforts of a person or an organization that warrants recognition because of their contribution to the quality of life in the city of Cupertino. And this category is the broadest of the 6 classifications. Individual acts, formulation of a program which services the community, or achievements which bring recognition to the city by virtue of the person or organization residing in Cupertino are included in this classification. And what I'd like to do is have Councilman Sparks assist me in handing out these particular awards. It was a bargain he got on the streets in Hong Kong. Our first recipient, Deputy Stan Bomar, is a member of the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Department. Sometimes you think of someone from the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Department as the person who flashes the red light just as after you've run the stop sign on Stelling. But believe me, it's a lot more than that. There is service there. Some of it, of course, is the required or the contracted service because we contract for that. But I think with Deputy Bomar, we go far and beyond that. He's always been willing to provide help and understanding to the young people of our community. I have seen him a few times over at my high school, Homestead. He's willing to spend the time and the effort to help the young people who at times, I think we can all agree, may be a little confused in their life's direction. And so it's with great pride and a sense of thankfulness we'd like to recognize Deputy Stan Bomar. Stan? Our next recipient is someone who is also very familiar in Cupertino. If you read the Cupertino Courier, you see her articles quite frequently. Iola Hendricsen is a volunteer at a daycare center for the elderly, a volunteer at the Cupertino Senior Community Center, and a board member of the Cupertino Senior Coordinating Council. As I've already mentioned, she writes a column in a local newspaper, and she also serves on our City of Cupertino committee, which is examining the question of rental housing in Cupertino. Certainly here is a person who is concerned about people in Cupertino and maintaining Cupertino as a healthy place for all, of all incomes and all ages. And I know when I feel a little tired sometimes, say, well, gee, things are getting crowded on the schedule, I don't know if I can go on. I take a look at all the things that Iola is doing and say, I can do it too. So Iola Hendricsen, please. She reminded me of something. I've also had the pleasure of her sitting on my lap as I play Santa Claus at the Senior Center. Our next recipient is a person whom I got to know a little better a few weeks back when I went to a dinner for the Girl Scouts. Louise Levy, get ready for this, is a 40-year member of the Girl Scouts of America. I think she was signed up sometime before she was born by her mother. She's been an active member of the League of Women Voters since 1973 and has served on the board of directors since 1982. She has served on the disaster services team of the Santa Clara Valley chapter of the American Red Cross from 1973 to 1982, and she also received the PTA Honorary Service Award in 1975. A person who has dedicated herself also to the community and serving not only the Girl Scouts, but has been pointed out, the American Red Cross, the PTA, you name it, the activity, and Louise Levy has probably been involved one way or the other. So please join me in recognizing Louise Levy. I'll have to get my script writers here. It's the Girl Scouts of the United States. Okay. Okay, United States. Here we go. The next one, the next recipient, is someone, if you have a cause going in the community, this is a person perhaps you should check with first, and probably she'll be willing to give some time to it. She may put you through the ringer a bit to check on what your motives are and what you're involved with. She's done it to me a few times, and I think most of us here on the council. But Carol McDowell has given unreservedly of her time to work in many areas, particularly in providing housing for the physically disabled in the city of Cupertino. She's dedicated her time and efforts to the Senior Community Center. She's been very actively involved with the Cupertino Community Services. I know at Christmas time she had people going all sorts of places and getting things and serving the people in need throughout our community. And she's also found time to contribute her time and energy to education in Cupertino, including the area of special education. And thank goodness we have people like her that even though her children have left school, she maintains that interest in education, which is really the foundation for the future. So please join me in honoring Carol McDowell. Carol? Our next classification is education, and I would like Councilman John Gatto to join me to present the awards here. Mr. Gatto also happens to be a member of the board of directors of the Super Schools Foundation, so I think it's good that he helped pass out these awards in education. Education reflects the efforts of a person or an organization which positively impacts education in the city of Cupertino. Nominees could include, but are not limited to, students, teachers, administrators, citizen parent groups, or classroom volunteers. This award is not necessarily limited to those people and organizations involved in the public school system. The first recipient is a person I know whom I've worked with for a while. Unfortunately, they changed her assignment, so I don't see her as frequently. But Evelyn Bachelor, the principal of Cupertino High School, has dedicated her efforts to improve the program offerings and instruction at Cupertino High School. She's devoted time and energy to improve the school environment and its public image. And I think she's a very hard and dedicated person, and I think the quality we see at Cupertino High School, the students it's producing, what they are doing, is reflective of her leadership skills. So Evelyn Bachelor, please. I'm not going to kiss the next recipient. Actually, the next recipient could not be here this evening due to illness. And Rodger Halstead is the person I'm talking about. Very good friend and colleague who's been a board member on the Cupertino School Board since 1977 and has served as its president. Rodger and I have served as teaching colleagues for a good 15 years or more. He serves the community very well. I know this as his department chair, as a talented social studies teacher in the Fremont High School District, and he has received national recognition for this. If you've watched some of the television programs he has been featured, he's been featured in news articles and magazines for the work he's been doing. Rodger has been actively involved, I should say, in curriculum planning and development, was the recipient of the Theodore Bass Memorial Teacher in Politics Award. He has also served his community in the past through participation in the JCs, the YMCA. He has very active participation in the De Anza Swim Club and the De Anza Cupertino Aquatics. I've been told that a member, and I'm looking for her, is Joan Barham here? Is Joan here from the Cupertino School Board? I was told that she would be here tonight to receive the award for him. Rodger called me and said he could not be here because of illness. I know he was out today. So I will deliver that personally to him. So please at least give a round of applause. Rodger Halstead. The next recipient is a group, a board, the Kennedy PTA Board, which has donated over 5,600 hours during the past school year to provide many helpful and rewarding services for the students, parents, and faculty of Kennedy. The board is responsible for the weekly newspaper. Drug and alcohol volunteers organize awareness and information programs. Health and welfare volunteers schedule parent blood donors at the Cupertino District blood drives. And the PTA provides volunteers who fill many needs, including clerical support, assistance in the library, coordination of plans, and preparations for the 8th grade graduation and awards night ceremony. The many untold hours, the unsung heroes out there. As a former Kennedy parent, I am well aware of the work they do. And so to receive the award for the Kennedy PTA Board, would you please join me in honoring Dinah Showman and Tricia Klein. There may be some other members of the board here, the Kennedy board. Are they present? If you would stand, if other members of the board are here. Do you have any others? There we. Okay. Our next recipient, Rebecca C. Marsh, has been active in the FARIA Academics Plus PTA and served as president of FARIA PTA in 1983, membership chairperson in 1984, FARIA Site Council member in 1984, and has volunteered her time and skills to serve as FARIA classroom and grading assistant from 1978 to the present. And believe me, those people serve very long, and as a teacher appreciate grading assistants and people like that. We don't have those at the high school. I see some of the administrators out there. We're going to have to get those in there. But at any rate, please join me in honoring Rebecca Marsh. The next category is cultural arts. I'd like to have assist me on this person who brings a little culture to our council, Barbara Rodgers. Okay. She's the one who keeps the four of us in line. Cultural arts reflects the efforts of a person or an organization that adds to the cultural enrichment of the community, either by individual achievement or the sponsorship of culturally enriching programs in Cupertino. The first recipient is a person whose work I have enjoyed for many, many years, and I think we all have. Jack Lindsay has managed the vocal music program at Monte Vista High School for 15 years. He brings to Cupertino the Monte Vista Madrigals, a singing group composed of 12th grade students who excel both academically and musically. I say he brings them to Cupertino. He brings them back occasionally because the other times he's traveling all over the world with them, and he has received acclaim for that. Last year, when we had a delegation from Toyokawa visiting us, it was certainly one of the highlights of the concluding banquet as Jack brought in the madrigals to perform for our visitors, and they were very visibly moved by the performance. He spends countless hours at Kennedy Junior High helping in their choir program. The madrigals and the variations, the junior performing choir, entertain throughout the community, throughout the state, throughout the nation. And so please join me in honoring, I think, Mr. Music here in Cupertino, Jack Lindsay. Our next recipient, James Rivera, has entertained students in cultural programs in the Santa Clara Valley for the last 2 years with his group, Shanashi. Did I get that right? No, Shanashi. Shanaki. I loses something when you translate it from the Japanese. Okay. During that period, over 50,000 school children have been touched by his music. He is also responsible for the Creativity 82, 83, and 84 programs that present cultural arts through the Parks and Recreation Department of Cupertino. And so a man who has helped enrich the community, enrich the culture, which I think is one of the vibrant fibers and chords within the community. Please join me in welcoming and honoring James Rivera. Barbara, if you will remain here for the next category as well. The business classification is an individual, a corporation, or a professional organization which has been outstanding in their field or achieved some honor worthy of recognition by the community. Nominees need not reside in Cupertino so long as the efforts for which they are being nominated impact Cupertino. The first recipient, and I think she is here, she hadn't checked in right when we started, but Helen Lewis started Allied Medical Laboratories Incorporated in Cupertino over 20 years ago. Allied Medical Laboratories provides essential testing on newborn babies in 7 counties. Helen is a member of the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce, currently serves as Vice President of Business Development. She also serves as a member of the Santa Clara County Mental Health Advisory Board. And I know if you are involved in any way with some business in the community, various activities, you will encounter Helen Lewis, who is always willing to serve, to help, to assist, and to improve Cupertino as a great community. So if you would join me, please, in honoring Helen Lewis. Is Helen here? She's probably out with some business keeping things going there. The second recipient is someone who has been a long-time Cupertino resident, but most recently has come to our community to work also, and we are very pleased by it. Darlene Thorne currently is the Executive Director of the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce. She is past president of Santa Clara County Association of Chamber Executives. She has been appointed to the Transportation Goals Review Committee, and she also devotes her time to giving talks to local high school students in the area of public relations. Previous to coming to Cupertino, she served in Milpitas in their Chamber of Commerce. And all I have to say to sum it up is Milpitas' loss is our great and wonderful gain. So Darlene Thorne, please. And finally, we turn to the last category. I would like our Mayor Pro Tem, Phil Johnson, to assist me in this. Volunteerism reflects service to the community for which the individual or group receives no remuneration. The first recipient, Bob Clancey, dedicates his time and efforts to the production of The Better Part, a program for, by, and about seniors presented on cable television. And Bob has been a very, very active part of that. And if you haven't seen any of their productions, I think somehow you should check into it. I think it's one of the great things about Cupertino. Our seniors have formed their own production team. They put together their programs, they write them, they produce them, they run the cameras, everything. I think something we can be very, very proud. I think we're going to nominate them when the crew comes in for the Super Bowl next year. If they need a backup crew, we'll put in our senior crew there. So please join me in honoring Bob Clancey. Bob?
I'm going to change the protocol a little bit. This is not an award for me, really. It's an award for the whole TV team. Without their generous cooperation in this would not be possible. So I want to thank all of them because it's really for them, an organization. Thank you, John.
Anna Hoogensen is a member of the Live Long and Like It Club. I'm getting near that category, let me tell you. Going out of her way to make all newcomers feel welcome. She volunteers to provide services each week to seniors who often find their only opportunity for social contact is through the Live Long and Like It Club and the Cupertino Senior Community Center. So here again we have a person very actively involved in what I feel is a vital cog in our community, our Senior Community Center. So please join with me in honoring Anna Hoogensen. She's not here. She's out there living long and liking it out there someplace. Friday night, okay. Our next recipient, Morris Hosoda, has been very active since 1967 through his participation in the Northwest Valley YMCA. His activities have included involvement with youth programs of Indian Guides, Gray Y, and Junior High Y. He was elected to the Board of Managers in 1975 and is currently chairman of the Board of Managers for the Northwest Valley YMCA. A lot of times, here again, we have an organization that's kind of taken for granted. People don't notice it as much. Maybe if they come out the back end of Gemco, they see the YMCA there, and it's just a building, but there's so much going on there, and it depends upon the efforts and the activities and the hard work of many people, and certainly Morris Hosoda reflects this. So please join me in honoring Morris Hosoda. Caught me by surprise there. I wasn't able to get out my business card in time. As you bow, you reach for your business card, we learned. The next person is one who is very familiar to me, having had 4 children grow up here in the community. Kay Lohmiller has been an important force in youth soccer for at least 7 years. She has volunteered her time and energy to Cupertino schools. She has served the Cupertino National Little League as team mother, scorekeeper, the one who helps bring in the outfield fence, does all sorts of things. When there's a need, you can call upon Kay Lohmiller. She's assisted in various fundraising activities. One who was always there when you need her. Would you please join me in honoring Kay Lohmiller? You also noticed earlier Kay was one of those who stood when we asked the Kennedy PTA board to stand too, so she's involved there. Get my notes straight here. Mary Jane Moffatt, again a person whom I've had the opportunity to work with on a number of occasions, has volunteered her time working in a convalescent hospital, in a veterans hospital. She has also volunteered her time to help retarded infants, the Cancer Society, school children, Boy Scouts. She's helped raise funds for scholarships for local Bobby Sox, for student art, for the Cupertino Library, Tournament of Bands, Cupertino Community Services, has helped with the PTA Brotherhood Essay Contest, the California History Center, and we can go on and on. A person, again, who serves so well, so many hours, and for so little money, but at least we can say thank you tonight, Mary Jane. Please join me in honoring Mary Jane. Might as well stay up here, Phil. You're always a good one for recreation there. He's our physical fitness buff on the council. Recreation is the participation in leisure activities which afford opportunities for citizens of Cupertino to join together for the purposes of recreation. Nominees could include individuals who contribute their time and talents to sports activities, teams which achieve such success as to be recognized by the community, and those who provide recreation opportunities who might not otherwise be able to participate due to physical or financial limitations. That is the general category, and the person we wish to honor tonight is Jack Scott Cheney. He's a past Cupertino Tennis Club board member. He has served as its treasurer, tournament director, was the 1983 president. He has devoted his time to promote the tennis club to its present recognition as one of the friendliest in the Santa Clara Valley. Obviously, he doesn't have Mr. Gatto or Mr. Quinlan as members. They play a mean game of tennis, but maybe they can be brought in there and made to be a little more friendly. So please join with me in honoring Jack Scott Cheney.
At this juncture, we would like to take a bit of a change of pace and showcase for you another youth organization of which the city is very proud. You will meet the program coordinator for this program a little later on. About 3 weeks ago, Cupertino Junior Players concluded their spring production of House of Tomorrow. For your enjoyment, they're live right here on stage, and at this time I would like to present to you folks the Cupertino Junior Players.
to others to see inside of ourselves. We can't depend on them to find out who we really are.
Someday, I'll see myself without looking in the mirror.
Stars. I'm gonna think of camp and all my friends. I'm gonna make a wish. I'm gonna wish we could all come back and have things just the same next year.
I wish the stars would always be as bright and as beautiful as they are tonight. I wish I could fly. I wish there was no home.
Yeah. I wish I had blonde hair.
And I wish I could get my braces off. Yes. I wish everything was purple. It's my favorite color.
I wish I were taller.
I wish I could go backwards in time.
I wish the whole world spoke the same language.
I wish there were no wars.
Or hunger in the world. I wish I could keep all my friends, especially all of you, forever.
Hey, Aaron, you've been so quiet. What do you wish for?
Well, I guess I wish the world could be as beautiful, peaceful, and fantastic as we can all imagine it in our minds.
You mean like the house of tomorrow?
Yeah, because sometimes being out in the world can get pretty scary. And I have to hold myself real tight until the shakes and shivers are finally gone. That's when I go into that special place in my mind, my house of tomorrow. And I feel there's hope for me and the world and everyone in it. Because in that house of tomorrow, there's no war or fighting between people, and the air is clear and crisp. And I feel if I can dream these things, I know they can happen. I know they can happen for all of us.
The world is a sound place, you laugh and then you cry.
can build a house of tomorrow. All you need to do is care enough to start working on it today.
A special thanks also to the pianist, Brad Lee. Let's have a hand for Brad. That's just some of the talent in this community. That's between the ages of 9 and 16. I think one tribute to them and their talent and their singing ability. I saw Jack Lindsay back there quickly checking the attendance areas for those and how many are coming to Monte Vista High School. He's already lining them up. The next category of awards really isn't a category, but as you know, nominations are received, and the City Council has asked one representative from each of our commissions to serve on a board to review the applications, to select the recipients, and then if they deem it worthy, I guess you would say, to select certain individuals to receive perhaps a little additional award. This is not to take away from those who have received the awards already, but just perhaps a little extra recognition. You certainly all are deserving of awards. And so the City Award is presented to several individuals this evening. Will consist of the resolution, the like, and then in addition, and this is the first year we are doing this with this particular item, is something that we started last year. Why don't you bring it up here, Steve, and I'll just show it to him. We started actually with the Citizen of the Year Award, and so Cupertino now has its own City of Cupertino Award with our state of California and the marking on the state of the City of Cupertino, and of course the morion, which is our symbol, and the person's name is inscribed. The first person to receive the award is Richard N. Bogoger. He's the current president of the Dianza Optimist Club of Cupertino. He implemented and directed the first annual Project 10, which is a teenage employment network. Project 10 is designed to assist youth entering the local job market through career guidance, employer placement. And this project will be activated this summer from June 11th through July 12th, 1984. So please join me in honoring Richard Bogoger. Our next recipient is a person I've seen many times throughout the community, actively working in many capacities. Hazel Fretwell is a member of the Valley Church of Cupertino, and in that capacity has worked tirelessly in various capacities, from helping provide needed clothing quilts, personal articles, and other items for missionaries. She presently teaches English as a second language to recently arrived Cambodian refugees and has tutored Korean couples in English in her home. And this is one of my favorite, or her favorite, let's put it this way, I like to see her in this role. As a member of the Cupertino Historical Society, she visits area schools, often dressed in period costume, and discusses the use of early-day home and farm implements with a Cupertino trunk that she brings about and talks with the children, and they learn so much from her. So please join me in honoring Hazel Fretwell. After you're through with that tie, Reed, you can donate it to the trunk. Ooh. We can only say that because we travel halfway around the world together, right? Okay. The next one is a person I've known for quite a while in various capacities. Friend, foe, all sorts of things. Barbara Koppel has served on the Cupertino Goals Committee, the Cupertino Citizen of the Year Committee. She has also served as Secretary of the Multimodal Task Force, the West Valley Legislative Committee. She has served as Monte Vista High School PTA President, co-founder of the Super Schools Foundation, President of the Regnart School PTA, a volunteer at Kennedy Junior High School, at Monte Vista High School, co-founder of the West Cupertino Homeowners Association. That's only half of it. They haven't even listed all the other things, the involvement in various sports activities, soccer, Little League. She's also, I don't know if you've retired from active duty as a mean softball player. No. You have a 9 o'clock game. She has You're coming up here in uniform. Please welcome and honor Barbara Koppel, a very vital element of our community. I'll have to come to you for lessons, Barbara. I have to get in shape. I'm throwing out the first ball on June 29th for Cupertino Night at the Giants. That was a paid advertisement there. We want to see you all there. The next person is one whose work you have just seen a little bit ago. Susan Shear brought an idea for a children's theater group to Cupertino and developed that idea to create the Cupertino Junior Players. She not only produces the shows, but unselfishly works in all areas necessary for a presentation. She's also been instrumental in the development of several theater workshops for children in Cupertino and works so hard with them and I think bringing us and them such joy. Please join me in honoring Susan Shear. Is that the way you did it at rehearsal now? No. No, Susan told me, she said, that's not fair. I've got the house stacked here in favor of me. Thank you very much, Susan. The last recipient is not here this evening, but I think he should be mentioned. In fact, he's out of the country right now. Hawaii. Well, that's still part of the country. I don't know if I'll read it. That's what Dennis Whittaker. Dennis has had leadership in the JC organization, providing a highly successful recycling center here in Cupertino. He has participated with the Cupertino Parks and Recreation Department in providing programs for youngsters. He has worked annually on the Chamber of Commerce Pancake Breakfast, the one that gets up early and does so much of that work. He's worked on the Arts and Wine Festival. He has contributed to Cupertino Community Services, has personally solicited financial and in-kind services. He's contributed his time and his leadership to projects such as the Children's Matinee, the Goblin Brigade. And so even though he isn't here, please join me in a round of applause in honoring Dennis Whittaker. Just in conclusion, for my part, I would like to thank all of those who were honored this evening. And also special thanks to all those out in the community whose names perhaps weren't submitted, but who serve so well for us. I think more than anything else, on behalf of the city, we wish to say thank you. And on behalf of the council, I think we can say thank you for making us so proud to tell other people we represent the city of Cupertino. Thank you very much.
I can't think of a more appropriate manner in which to conclude this program than to have a final number from our Cupertino Junior Chamber Orchestra. Last fall, a woman from your community came to the city and expressed her desire to have the city participate with a junior chamber orchestra. And we have been absolutely delighted with that relationship ever since. It is absolutely a quality young people's chamber ensemble. So with that, we will conclude our program with Rondeau by Murray, Cupertino Junior Chamber Orchestra.